morning, Wiser Nation. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have us here today. Welcome. It is a great day. Bulebi, good to see you. Good morning. Emmanuel, this is day 24 indeed. Ogukudu, morning, morning, morning. Welcome. Amina, welcome. Soul inspiring session by the grace of God. And yes, happy to have you from Lagos. Where are you all clicking in from today? What city, what country? Hi, Hope. Good morning. Stephanie. Selassie, since 3 a.m. Wow. You are some committed girl. Thank you so much for your commitment and happy birthday in arrears. I saw it on Instagram yesterday that I think it was your birthday 2 days ago. Happy birthday. More grace to you. Olutomi, welcome. Erica, good morning. Mommy, good morning. Daddy, good morning. So on the 21st of December, actually, my parents celebrated their 49th wedding anniversary. So please congratulate them. I did not mention it that day or the day before. I had said, oh, I would say it at Wiser, but somehow. Please congratulate them. 49 years. So next year, 50 years. Hey, we're going to celebrate. And why we are also celebrating this year for how far they've come through the ups, through the downs, and they're enjoying the best times together. Congratulations, Mommy. Congratulations, Daddy. I know you're there. Let's see. Good morning. Ivy Dan, Donnaline, Gaius, Chibike, Chinyere Obiobasi, Rosalind Onolaja. Good morning and Merry Christmas. Wow, Christmas is here. Chibike, I think I've mentioned your name. Love, good morning. Dami up. Moturayo, Dennis, the faithful nurse. Mwah. Chibike is from Jos. Yay. Kofo, you're from Ibadan. Yes. Leslie is in Abuja. Selassie is in Ghana. Yes. The faithful nurse is in Benin. Dami is in Lagos. Nkechi, my darling sister from Port Harcourt. Joshua is in Rwanda. Excellent. Cheta, good morning. Donna, Abuja. Dennis is in Ondo, Gombe. Yeah. All right. I'm seeing your good mornings and congratulations. 49. Nasarawa, thank you for coming in. All right. Wow. There's still so many messages I haven't read. Wow. Okay, Joyce. Yes, thank you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay. The internet goes off at any point. Don't worry, I'll be back. I really want to say thank you. Yesterday, I had quite a number of messages from people who were saying they were making better decisions based on the conversation yesterday. And it was very encouraging to me. Those who wrote on the group, plus those who sent to me privately, thank you so much. Those who began to pay for courses, those who began to negotiate on higher levels. So it's not even, it was an acceptance of your higher self. We were accepting our higher self and we're holding ourselves to higher standards. So thank you. Well done for doing it. We're being introduced to our elevated selves. And it is this elevated self that the world will really give attention to. You know, there's some place we read, or no, we didn't read it here. It is, I think it's in Ecclesiastes, where the wise poor man came into a city, gave counsel. They used his strategies. They got results, but everybody forgot about him because he was not positioned to be remembered. So it's okay to be wise. It's better to be wise and elevated to a level where you can be referenced. Somebody might give you sound advice and you take it for granted, or well, you even take the advice, you do it, you get the result, and then you forget them. And then there's some people who give you the same advice. You remember, and you remember them and you reference them just because there's some level of positioning. And it's that elevated self that allows us be so positioned that people make reference to us. And it is when we become reference points that influence multiplies. So please, in 2024, this is not the year to shy away from being a reference point. This is the year to desire to be a reference point and position yourself to be a reference point. This is the year you toot your horn. This is the year you make yourself seen and heard so that you will be referenced. And now if we would convert it, or if we would link it to earning, which I know is a big deal for many of us, because first of all, many of us are still trying to survive. We want enough money to feed, to eat, to send children to school, to pay house rent, all those things. Many of us are not even on the level yet where we're really thinking of legacy, investment. It's about day to day. And if you're going to earn to the point where you are no longer under pressure to work every single day, or you're no longer under pressure to survive, then one of the routes will be to become a reference point. And it's when you become a reference point that some people want to listen to you and pay. People want to speak with you and pay. People want to buy your product and pay. So if I have those who are ready to be reference points in 2024, who are ready to position themselves, or at least begin the journey of positioning, please write in the chat, say, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And then after writing I'm ready, you now ask yourself, so what next? What do I need to do to be positioned? Right? I believe that the word of God we're hearing is already helping. So don't overthink it like being positioned is another big deal. No, it's, if you're going to build a house, what do? You count the costs, you have the plan, the bill of quantities, and then you begin to take action. So you're ready. So let's start doing the work, right? Let's start doing the work. Proverbs chapter 24. Don't envy bad people. Don't even want to be around them. Don't even want to be around them. All they think about is causing a disturbance. All they talk about is making trouble. Don't want to be around them. It takes wisdom to build a house and understanding to set it on a firm foundation. It takes knowledge to furnish its rooms with fine furniture and beautiful drapes. How do I make this one a bit smaller? Okay. It takes wisdom to build a house and understanding to set it on a firm foundation. It takes knowledge to furnish rooms with fine furniture and beautiful drapery. So that house that you are ready to build, that positioning that you are ready for, what is the wisdom to guide us to get there? It takes wisdom to get there. It takes wisdom. What are the elements that have been speaking to you since the beginning of Wiser and even before Wiser? Now it takes knowledge. So what kind of knowledge are you going to get so that you can furnish the rooms of this house that you are ready to build? If I am going to be positioned right, some of the things I need to know, like I did in 2023, I needed to know exactly how to position myself. So I joined Gloria Dozien's program on LinkedIn visibility, which I told her is not LinkedIn visibility, it's actually visibility for life. It's visibility for, it's way beyond LinkedIn. And I learned the things she taught. I'm still practicing them. And as I practice them, I'm getting the kinds of results gradually, but surely. So that's knowledge number one. So what courses, what programs, what knowledge are you buying? We said it yesterday, buy knowledge, buy wisdom, buy insight, buy education. What education are you buying next year? This your piggery business that you have been doing and you've been trying to make it along the way. Is it time for you to go attend a workshop, a seminar, or some kind of one-on-one program with a professional? Or is it time to bring that professional to your pig farm to teach you and your staff about how to do this business better. Now you've been rearing the chickens. You now want to go to value addition. How do you go from just selling live chicken at Christmas to having to sell chicken all through the year, and you can now sell roast chicken, pepper chicken? There's this woman in Port Harcourt. She's by Salvation Ministries. Her name is somewhere. She sells fish, and she's been selling fish for decades now. Now, see, have smoked fish from her. You can buy smoked fish that has been spiced. They'll spice it, put pepper, all of those other spices in it, and smoke it. So when you're buying the smoked fish, if you even decide, no, it's not smoked. Yeah, smoked fish is dry fish. You can even eat it. It's tasty already. So when you're cooking, you really don't need to cook it specially, because in their drying process, they had seasoned it. She got some knowledge, and now she makes, of course, extra on that. Many people know her. She's very popular. There are people who come, a lot of people who travel into the country in this kind of season. When they're going back, many of them, you see queues. They're waiting there to buy fish. Sometimes her fish will be, she has fish that are 6 feet long and even longer, and they need to cut them into large chunks and tie them in large cartons and all of that. So what is that knowledge that you need? I created an online course this year, which has become one of my assets. It's real estate asset for me. And I needed to learn how to create the course in a way that I can sell it to the exact people who need it. Because in the past, there were some things I created, some courses I created, and it was jaga jaga. It was all over the place. But now I want to sell it to a particular person. I realized that I didn't know how to sell very well in the past. So how do I need to sell? So guess what? I joined the program. I got the knowledge with Steph Obi. And in these few months since I started my journey with Steph, the difference is so clear. I launched that course in September. I started talking about it at a price. By October ending, I changed the price. And with what I learned about some of the things on how to sell, people continued to buy. By December, I changed the price again. And guess what? People are still buying. So it's like, my rooms are being filled with what? With knowledge. It takes knowledge to furnish rooms. It takes knowledge to move to another level, another height. If it's making sense to you, please write "make sense" in the chat, or write MS. Let me see some activity. So what knowledge, I need you to get this. What knowledge are you getting in 2024, and how fast? For some of us, we talk about the things the services we render, but we are not getting the results we seek because we are not doing it right. So I've looked at some of the things I've sold in the past. Thank you. I'm seeing your responses. I've looked at some of the things I've sold in the past, and I realized where my gaps were. Oh, no wonder this class didn't fill up. I wanted 40 people to attend. I had 25. One of the challenges was this, and out of the 25, maybe I gave 2 free because I was trying to make up my numbers. It was a sales gap. I didn't use this word. I didn't use that word, right? Now we're trying to automate it. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought, but guess what? We're on the journey to getting it right. And then it's easier to fill up the rooms. So that you've been doing it for so long, please, you need to reevaluate if you've been doing it right. And if it's not been the right way, switch. Somebody sent me a message yesterday. He has a program he's hosting. And first of all, when I saw the message from him, he's somebody I like, and I like what he produces. And so I was already a little excited, like, oh yeah, I would like this. And then I read the line where he said, please come and support me, something, something, something. So at that time, I realized why the support me message never really converts. Why do I want to support you? Why? Why do I want to support you? 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 W I wouldn't come all the way just to support you. I hope this is not coming off wrong. You've not given me more reason to come, more reason to attend than to support. Oh, please help my ministry, support me. That's not sales, that's begging. And guess what beggars get? When you are in your car, your own vehicle, and a beggar comes to your window, please, if you have, where's my purse? My purse isn't here. If you have mint, 1,000 naira mint, 500 naira not mint, 100 naira, then 50 naira that's a little worn out, please, in the chats, which are you likely? Everybody write your response. Everybody write a response. Which are you likely to pick to give the beggar? The 1K mint, the 500, or the lower denominations? Which one do we tend to give to beggars? Please write, including you. Please write. You are very likely going to search for the worn out 50 naira, the lower denomination, the one that means nothing to you. So imagine you've been selling your product by way of support me. I will give you nonsense. I will give you lower denomination. I will give you 15 naira, 100 naira. Meanwhile, I could have given you 1,000 naira if you had told me that that's your product will reduce my heat. Remember the people in that same traffic where you're begging, somebody else is selling mirror. And they will bring the mirror to your window and say, Madam, remember, see your bathroom for us, you find mirror. And you say, not true. That's my bathroom, true, they find mirror. How much? You say, 2.5. 2.5. In that same traffic where I gave somebody 50 naira jaga, I will bring out 2,000 naira and pay for mirror through my window, put it, because the person wasn't begging, they were giving me value. Look, if you don't know how to sell, stop begging first, then go and learn how to sell. Sell to give value. See, never again in your life, if you're here on this call, for the rest of your life, never sell anything again and ask for support. It means you don't know what you're selling, or what you're selling should not be sold. Go and dash it. So see, your rooms will be filled with knowledge. And when we beg, many times we don't even know when we're doing it. Somebody says, oh, we're trying to give to the less privileged. Give us what you have. First instinct for majority of people, first instinct is to go and look for what is worn out because you had less privileged. I don't know why, but that's how many of us are wired. The set of people I see that tend not to are not really wired this way. Well, please correct me, but don't even correct me. This is my personal perspective. Catholics tend to give the best. Maybe because they talk about charity a lot as a responsibility. Most of the people I've seen who are so committed to giving good value when they are giving to less privileged, in my opinion, are Catholics. They talk about it like it is expected of you to give good quality. But many of us, it's okay, so go and check the ones you're not wearing anymore, those ones that your children are not wearing anymore. Come, let's give it to the less privileged, as if the less privileged cannot wear new clothes. I don't give rags or leftovers anymore. I stopped that years ago when my mind changed about, so I don't give leftovers. So yes, someone like me, if I'm giving beggars, even now, if I have mint, I can give the mint. I can give the higher denomination because my mind has also changed about that. That doesn't mean that I'm not still sometimes tempted to look for the change, because it's the change I keep in my car. And many times I don't want to bring out my purse in traffic. So it's just that one that is there, I'll bring out and give. Yeah. But sometimes we keep some good denominations there as well. So when we think of giving to people who are in need, we tend to give the leftovers. How many of you have budgets for giving to people in need? How many of you have a determined budget that every year I give this percentage to people in need? How many of us? But you see how many times we've talked about budget for education, budget for school fees, budget for this, budget for that. So you see, we tend not to have budgets to support people. So stop asking for support. So even for those of us who are in the social, what do you call it now, the NGO space, as much as we are in need and we're asking to help people in need, I think one of our responsibilities now would be to also show some level of value for when we're asking social impact. Yes, for when we're asking people to support us, we're going to change our messaging somewhat to go away from the beggarly disposition to the impact and influence. If this is all you would take away from today, this is great. This is great. This is great. Knowledge will fill the room. So Justice and I were speaking this morning, and we were tinkering with a few ideas for Wiser next year and 2025, and some of the items, some of the things that we would add to the Wiser value chain, because we can already see, and based on the feedback we get and the kinds of messages that people bring, we can already see that there's more. There's more. We didn't create Wiser to have all these beans, but that's what happens to beans. As you grow, you grow. And as you grow, there's opportunity for development. So we're saying there's more. Supposing sometime in early January, we offer a Wiser special live event where people gather in a room just for, say, 100 people. And we come into that room to tailor the year. Yes, it's what we might call vision boarding, but even beyond vision boarding, we would have some sort of plans, come up with some sort of plan for the year where people can plug in, have activities, take through workshop activity where by the time you're leaving the event, you have a clearer idea what your year looks like. These are the 4 major things I need because of where I am now. And it's easier to run with. And maybe we go another level and put those who will be willing, able, and ready into some sort of mastermind group where we all can celebrate our wins together to the end. It's not necessarily a coaching program. It will be peer-to-peer. You know, you're paired with people and you're responsible to look out for. Now, we were just talking about it this morning, so it's not like we've sat down and thought about it, fleshed it out, but perhaps that would be necessary. So in the WhatsApp group, tell us if you think, even from here, you can tell us if you think this is something you might like to attend, where we have the vision board session and then we have, say, the goal setting session or something deeper, something slightly deeper. We map out the year, what your year looks like, and what will be required. We don't even need to be more than 50 to 100 people will be excellent. Will determine what it will cost, but it cannot be anything priced above 45 to 50,000, because the major cost will be what? To pay for the venue and give something to eat, right? Well, I've seen I will attend. Oh, yes. I will attend. The last time I had a vision board session, I think was 2018. That was the last time I organized a vision board session in Uyo, and we had more people than we were expecting. So maybe we will. Maybe we will do that. Thank you. Good plan, right? Good idea. Whether it's a plan yet, I don't know. But good idea. If we're going to make this first one happen, we're going to have to do it as a group. Those who are willing to attend will all come together and plan it together and make it happen, so that by the time we're doing it for 2025, after Wiser 2024, It will be much more seamless. It will be much clearer, and we would have well, let's not go there. Let's come back here. It's with knowledge that January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September will be filled with knowledge. So you're already thinking and you're already writing what knowledge you need for 2024. Nancy, please, if you're here, write a message in the chat about how, maybe just post your phone number so people can reach you, those who need to join the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Just post the number again and again and again. Let's flip to the next. Verse 5, it is better to be wise than strong. Intelligence outranks muscle any day. Strategic planning is the key to warfare. To win, you need a lot of good counsel. Wisdom is better than strength. Wisdom is better than strength. Wisdom shows you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it, who to do it with. Strength can be so random. And many of us have done some things with so much strength, but without wisdom. You know that story about the man, I'm sure I've shared it here before, and you've heard it. The man who was brought in to fix a challenge in an organization like a refinery or a factory. They had brought in different artisans and technicians, and they couldn't solve it. And then they brought this retired engineer or technician, and he came in and he listened to the engine, listened to the machine. We'll walk around, listen here. We'll walk around, listen there. We'll walk around, listen there. And after a while, he said, give me a spanner. And they gave him a spanner. People were thinking he was going to tighten some knot or so. He just went to a particular pipe and he hit it maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm sure you know this story. He hit it a few times and everything was working well. And then he put down his bill, went into the office and said, my bill is $10,000. And I'm like, $10,000 for what? Just to hit it? He said, no. The $10,000 is for knowing where to hit, what to hit, how many times to hit. Were there other people who knew what to hit, where to hit? No. They were using strength to open, loosen, and change. I came with the wisdom to know, boop, 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 and I gave you what is greater than strength. And of course, they paid him his fee of $10,000. So it's not about the strength, it's about who you become. Oh gosh, it's about who you become. Joyce, it's about who you are. It's about who you are, and it's the wiser you that will command what your strength can never command. You will sit in your room, in your study, with your laptop, and you will speak to world leaders for 1 hour, and they'll pay you what some people work for 1 year and 2 years. It's already happening, actually. It's already happening. Oh, yes, it's already happening. It's already happening. But why? Because of wisdom. So you're in the right place. You've made a right investment in yourself to seek out the right wisdom. To win, you need a lot of good counsel. He didn't say you need good counsel. He said you need a lot. So this is the year where you would be more involved in seeking good counsel from the right source. We've been seeking counsel before, but how many of the counsels have taken us somewhere? Now, this is the year for good counsel. This is the year where you would say, oh, I used to attend all this. Now, this is the one place where I will be, just here, because this is the place where I get the most value. Some of us will need to do audits of the counsel we get and the kinds of results we have gotten from what counsel. And then you will see that you can't be everywhere. You can't be at every webinar, every seminar. No. It might be just one person or 2 people you will stick with in 2024. It might be 3, because these are the 3 people who have given you the kind of counsel that can convert to results. If you agree with me, say I, A-Y-E, I, or put the letter I. Wise conversation is way over the head of fools. In a serious discussion, they haven't a clue. And remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday we read, don't worry yourself with fools. You just keep going. The person who is always cooking up some evil soon gets a reputation as prince of rogues. Fools incubate sin. Cynics desecrate beauty. So these are not the people we want to be around. We do not want to sit in the rooms where evil is being cooked up. And we do not want to have a reputation as one who does not contribute to stealing, but who also is comfortable to sit where stealing is being planned. You will desecrate the beauty of the wisdom you have gathered already. And your heart will begin to incubate the sin, because if you stay around it long enough, you become it. I see your responses. Human beings are really the only set of beings on the planet that can learn on the superior level that we can. If we stay before almost anything, we can learn to be it. That's why some of you were sent on NYSC to a strange place where they spoke a strange language. You stayed there for 1 year, and before you knew it, you began to speak the language. For those who are not Nigerians, NYSC is a 1-year compulsory service. It's the National Youth Service Corps, where people serve the country in one regard or the other for 1 year after tertiary education. Many countries have variants of this. So you're sent somewhere for your 1 year service to the nation. You stay there for 1 year, and just because you are in the environment, guess what? You begin to speak the language. Just because. So on in this program I'm doing with Ugochukwu Umeogo, one of the lessons he showed us, and I went online to search for it a bit more. What's his name now? Or what's the name of the person who was doing the research? Let's just say it's Mr. X. Mr. X was doing a research to show that chimpanzees could learn like humans. So he got an 8-month-old chimpanzee and paired him up with an 8-month-old child and began to teach them the same things, feed them the same way, put them under the same kind of stimulus to see that the chimpanzee will begin to behave like the child. At the end of the experiment, which was several months or maybe a year, guess what? The chimpanzee was still behaving like a chimpanzee, had not learned to be like the human, but even more shocking was the child was beginning to behave like the chimpanzee. Why? We are the ones with the capacity to learn from our environments. We are the ones with the capacity to become more like what we see, what we hear, what we feed. No other animal has that capacity. So you want to become more in 2024. One of the easiest, I didn't say easy, one of the quickest things for you to do will be to belong to a space where the people that look like your mom are. And before you know it, you begin to behave like them. You begin to think like them because you are hearing like them. So we have the capacity to learn. You see how many of us who have never been abroad, because we've been watching TV, we are learning to speak in foreign accents. Some of us have British accents for the Britain that we've never been to, just because we watch one British TV. We stay around people with certain accents long enough, we borrow their accents. If you know what I'm talking about, say, I know what you're talking about. You stay in an environment that is toxic, people always shouting at each other. Before you know it, you find that you're always shouting at people too, because you are becoming like your environment. Wisdom is saying, don't hang out with people who cook up evil. Before you know it, you'll be like one of them. I'm paraphrasing what I'm reading here. and you will desecrate your beauty. Verse 10, this one is so instructive. If you fall to pieces in a crisis, there wasn't much to you in the first place. If you fall to pieces in a crisis in 2024, and I say this with every sense of humility, of responsibility, and every sense of caution. Look, take it squarely. In 2024, if you fall to pieces in the time of crisis, it means there wasn't much to you in the first place. What are the worst sets of crises that can happen in 2024? And how will you be prepared for them? The least you can do is prepare your mind to remain strong even when there is crisis. You may not have the physical solution. The least you can do, the foundation and the bedrock, will be to have the mental foundation to be what's the word I'm looking for? To bounce back from a setback. That's resilience. The least you can do is to build resilience. What is that crisis, or what are those crises that would make you fall to absolute pieces? Look, wisdom is clear. Now, there are people who lost marriages, divorced. Yesterday, I was speaking with my sister, Kusin. Kusin runs a ministry for separated and divorced women. The idea of the ministry is to help women pick themselves up, because apparently more women lose themselves from going through a separation and divorce than lose themselves from the loss of a spouse. I repeat, please Google it, find it. More women lose themselves from a separation or divorce, especially in societies like ours, than they lose themselves from the loss of a spouse. If the spouse dies, they look at the responsibility and say, the children must go to school, shall rent must be paid, tie wrapper, put across your chest, hey, let's go to market, let's continue this business, hey. But when they lose a spouse to divorce or separation, she will sit down and say, hey, God, so this is how my life is. So you mean that common marriage I could not keep? So what am I self in this life? And then she begins to doubt her strength. She begins to doubt her personality. She begins to doubt her competence. She gets to work and she says, if I could not handle simple marriage, is it this one? And she begins to lose herself. She begins to close her mouth when she's supposed to speak. The burden increases because her marriage failed. So she sees herself as a failure. But if the spouse died, he didn't die because she was a failure. He died because death happened. So it's easier for her to deal. I had never ever really thought about some of these things until I was speaking with Kusin yesterday. And she said, look, Ma, there's work, there's ministry, there's work to be done. So, well, without planning to, I don't know if Kusin is here. If you're in that situation, you're divorced, or you're in the process of getting divorced or separating, and you're a woman, maybe even a man, because she now has some men who have started coming to her to get the same counsel because they're going through tough times. And you need that support. She has the community for support, and they have very clear items, things they do, what they study. And I think there's a course that is coming now, and they're beginning to see healing. Look, that's ministry. Now, there's somebody here who you might have thought about this thing before. Maybe you also were divorced or are divorced, and you've been thinking about helping other people, but you've been saying, if I tell people now that I'm a divorce coach, hey, God forbid, how will it even be? Hey, now that you've heard that someone else is doing, that's proof that the world needs you. So there are many ideas that you've wanted to run with, but you've been afraid to own. By knowledge, those rooms will be filled in 2024. Get the right knowledge so that you won't fall to pieces in the time of crisis. There has to be so much to you that when crisis comes, it doesn't mean you won't be hurt. It doesn't mean you won't be pushed down. It doesn't mean you wouldn't be stretched. It doesn't mean you won't go through the motions. It just means that you will not crash to pieces. It means that you will be resilient enough to bounce back. So please, we're not saying, Chita, I see your message. We're not saying that wisdom will make you so resilient, nothing touches you. No, wisdom is not going to make you inhumane. Wisdom is just going to give you strength to continue when crisis does happen, because crisis will happen because we're in the world. It is a foolish thinking, not wisdom thinking, not to expect crisis. Yesterday, I think that was yesterday, where he said, was it yesterday or day 21? Said, plan for the best, prepare for the worst, or something like that. Prepare for the worst, because the worst will happen. Wise people know that the worst will happen. Wise people know that the worst will happen. Wise people know that the worst will happen. Please write it. Wise people know that the worst will happen. Wise people do not say, God forbid, the worst will not happen. Wise people understand that the worst will or can happen. Wise people know that the worst can happen. Wise people know that the worst can happen. Wise people know that the worst can happen. And so they prepare for it. So in 2024, nobody is going in blind. That's, oh, no, God forbid. No, I'm too wise for that. It will shock you. Because the worst isn't reserved for the worst people. The worst is part of life. It's just there in the ether. It's like you don't have to be a bad person to have negative thoughts. I understand that 70% of the thoughts that you go through in your mind every day are negative, good or bad. You don't have to be a good person or a bad person to encounter traffic in Lagos. You don't have to be a bad person to encounter flight delay or flight cancellation. You don't have to be a bad person for your house to burn down. You don't have to be a bad person for your marriage to fail. You don't have to be a bad person for your investment to go south. Investment that you might have been doing for 7 years and everything was good. All of a sudden, something just falls and it goes bad. The rain falls on good and bad, wise and foolish. The difference is that the wise come out with the umbrella. Donna, thank you for that. The difference is that the wise have the umbrella. Now somebody said, but Joyce, I didn't have the money for the umbrella. The wise knew that to come, and so they started putting 10 naira aside for 2 years so they could afford an umbrella to buy. Guess what? The wise might even walk under the rain for a bit because they are still saving the money for the umbrella. But guess what? They're smiling because they say, by this time next rainy season, when I go see me, my umbrella won't even be only big enough for me. It will be big enough to carry others of people. You know those umbrellas that people use, that those people who make calls or people who have POS? Those large umbrellas that you see by the roadside. Now, that type of umbrella some people go buy, because it will not be a matter of umbrella for me anymore. The thing about wise people is that by the time they do open the umbrellas, guess what? They might own the umbrella factory. Guess what? They might have the umbrella dealership, that they don't only have umbrellas for themselves, they begin to sell. They might have the umbrella that can cover 10 other people. They become distributors of umbrellas. That's the difference. It's called a parasol. Thank you. That large one. Thank you, Hope Raisers. The parasol. So to see somebody walking under the rain, it can also be that they had the umbrella, but they forgot it at home. Oh, come on. 2024 is going to be your best year yet, because the quality of decisions you make will be superior to decisions you've made ever. And I'm speaking to myself. 2024 will be my best year so far. Rescue the perishing, verses 11 and 12. Rescue the perishing. Don't hesitate to step in and help. If you say, hey, that's none of my business, will that get you off the hook? No. Someone is watching closely. Someone not impressed with weak excuses. Rescue the perishing, Joyce. Rescue the perishing. This is where Proco work comes in. Rescue the perishing. Hope Raisers Global Foundation, for example. Nobody sent you. By yourself, you started doing charity work, as it were, for people who have been internally displaced. You've registered the business. You've gotten board members. You've gotten staff to work with you because you've rushed in to rescue the perishing. You didn't say, well, that's none of my business. And you're now creating movements for people to support, sending money, sending this. Oh, once again, I want to say thank you to everyone who gave money on the, what day was that, 18th of December, where Hope Raisers was going out to visit IDP people who have been internally displaced within a community in Abuja. And we would, guess what? We will continue to drop the account details, and we're going to change that messaging about help. We'll give you value. We'll show value. So you will not be giving us 50-50 kobo. Now, some of you've seen some needs and you want to create a webinar to solve a problem. You want to create a seminar to solve a problem. Apropos, you want to create a 31-day program called Wiser to gather people and help them solve a problem. You decided to say, it is my business. Some other person will say, no, that's none of my business. No. Come on, Joyce. 31 days? What the hell? What's that? Wouldn't you just gather people in a 3-hour session and study Proverbs 1 to 31 and you're all right? In 2024, you will rescue the perishing. Now, in my business, what is my business about? My business right now, my training business is primarily about rescuing the perishing executives who have worked for 5-10 years and above, have experience and expertise, but are struggling to express it by way of speaking. Now they have missed promotions. Some have missed opportunities to represent their organizations on platforms that are global because they couldn't present, they couldn't speak. My business now is to prepare them to speak. I am not on my watch going to let that class of professionals and executives continue to perish. No, this is now my ministry. What is yours? Sometimes the challenge with the way we treat the business is that we don't see it as ministry first. And maybe because we attach fees to it, we don't think it's ministry. What is the definition of ministry? We've associated ministry with free. That's some of you know your ministry, but you've not owned it because ministry is supposed to be ministry meaning ministry. Okay, let me check. Minister. To minister. Pastor David Adeshina explained this to us one day in church in 1997. That was the year I finished from secondary school. I graduated from FGC Abuloma, and he was talking about minister and ministry and told us the meaning. It never left me. He said, to minister is to attend to the needs of someone. Now, amongst the 4 different definitions here, minister here as a verb. Minister here as a verb is to attend to the needs of someone. To attend to the needs of someone. We are ministers. Don't play. You are a minister if you are attending to the needs of someone. Yes, the other verb here says to act as a minister of religion. So yes, there is the ministers of religion, there are the ministers of meeting needs. When you see that's your business, where you do, what is it that you do? Write it in the chat. What thing you do? Sako, you know I love you too. I love you so much, my brother. That thing you do, write it in the chat. Yes, the mechanic, when we think of ministry, the first thing that comes to mind is church. So we see church. Meanwhile, church is one of the most organized. Don't let me get into this talk today. Oh, yeah. Church is so organized. You will spend X number of hours every week. Oh, don't worry, I don't want to get into that today. You're in travel and holidays, you're in humanitarian service, you're a master of ceremonies, you're an event manager, you're a home decor, event planner, corporate event management, and make math simple and easy to understand. See, please, you've written this, go and write it that this is your ministry. I am in the ministry of baking. I mentor and teach compares. That's my ministry. My ministry is grant consultancy and writing. Look, let me ask, just by thinking about it as a ministry, does your sense of responsibility change somehow? Does your sense of responsibility change somehow? Will your sense of selling change somehow? Will your sense of showing up change somehow? Will your sense of commitment change somehow? Because God is going to ask me, Joyce, there were so many professionals in Nigeria who couldn't speak, but they had what to say. What did you do for them? There were events to be emceed with finesse. Joyce, what did you do with them? Who did you train for them? Wake up. Don't sleep. Don't play. Go and put together your social media plan. Go and create content. Go and record videos because it is ministry. It is not a joke. And saying, that's why I detest when I hear things like side hustle. How dare you reduce your ministry and call it a side hustle? It is ministry nonetheless, regardless of how much time you give attention to it, whether you do it part-time or full-time. Don't you ever reduce your ministry to a side hustle. You dare not do it again. Now you see where I get it from, that I hate it when people say I'm just hustling. I'm like, where do we start from now? Oh, Seth, look, stop it. Don't play. My side hustle is a graphic design. Side hustle, when there are 2,000 people looking for graphic designers, they're stuck because they're trying to put graphics on their pages to talk about their business. It's a side hustle. And so you just do it anyhow. I sound you. Let me send one angel to slap you there. It's your work. It's your ministry. We are not hustlers. We are ministers in the workplace. Meeting needs. Meeting needs. If you don't know your meeting needs, sit at home first. When you are sure your meeting needs, you come back. Come back. Come back. Ministers. We're going to close very soon. You will read the rest of the chapter yourself. Someone is watching you closely and is not impressed with weak excuses like saying, but this is only my side hustle. That's none of my business. Well, I know how to do graphics, but well, I only do it as side hustle when I'm just looking for extra swing. Don't play. Verses 13 and 14. Eat honey, dear child. It's actually good for you. And delicacies that melt in your mouth. Some sweet puff from time to time. that puff puff that they fry with fresh oil, the puff puff that melts in the middle, not the one that, oh, I wish you know, the one that when you draw it, it's like chewing gum. It's like, sorry, it's like chewing gum. It's like bubble gum when you draw that puff puff. Puff puff, for those who don't know, is fried dough, a special stretchy fried dough, usually sugary. And for some of us, we enjoy it even more when there's some extra sugar sprinkled on it and you put in just a little teeny bit of pepper. Oh, my Lord God. Eat delicacies. Remember, he said yesterday, eat but not too much to get fat. So don't forbid your puff puff. Eat your puff puff. It's good for you. Eat honey. Likewise, knowledge and wisdom for your soul. Get knowledge and wisdom, and your future is secured. Your hope is on solid rock. 2024 is the year that you will pay for knowledge like you have never paid for it before. At least now you will pay for it with a sense of responsibility. Not just, well, they say I should pay for webinar. No, you will go in search of the particular kind of knowledge you need, and you will get it. I'm sorry to all of us who are fasting this Sunday morning, like me, this puff puff. We will eat it tomorrow on Christmas Day. My future is secured because of the kind of knowledge and wisdom that I have gotten for my soul. My 2024 is secure. Look, my 2024 is secure. My 2025 is secure. My 2026 is secure. My 2027 is secure. And guess what? You know, one of the reasons why I know they are is that in 2024, I will still up the knowledge that I have for the next year. And I will up it. And I will up it. And I will up it. See, don't play. Don't play. Those of us who have been in business or in career for 10 years and you've been wondering, oh, Joyce, who will pay me for this? Is that you've not looked at the value of what you have, that you are sitting on gold. You're sitting on 10 years of experience that people are struggling to get. The person you would need is somebody who will show you how to convert that your expertise to a workable tool, or someone like me who will show you how to talk about it and productify it by speaking from the abundance in your spirit and in your soul. Don't interfere with good people's lives. Don't try to get the best of them. Don't trip them up. No matter how many times you trip them up, God loyal people won't stay down. At least they won't stay down for long. They may fall, but they will get up on their feet, while the wicked will end up flat on their faces. Hence, if you are God loyal here, you know that your future is secured in the Lord. When something happens to you in 2024 that makes you fall down, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. 'Cause a saint is not a sinner who fell down and got up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down. Oh, a saint is just a sinner who fell down and got up. I fell down, but I got up. You fell down, but you got up. You will fall down, but you will get up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down and got up. Wisdom will help you get up in 2024. Wisdom will help you get up in 2024. I don't know what will make you fall, but we are not immune from falling. The immunization we are taking now is to get up. The immunization we are taking now is to get up. When you take immunization for DPT, diphtheria, or you take immunization for, what do you call it, mumps and rubella, you take immunization for measles. Guess what? Many times the child is still infected with measles, but it will be a mild form. Wisdom does not stop you from falling. Wisdom can stop you from falling, but it doesn't guarantee you wouldn't fall. Wisdom will guarantee that you rise. 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 You will rise. You will rise. So when something happens that makes you fall down in 2024, don't say, hey, why me? Hey, after attending wise, after paying for this course, and then why me? No. Stop and smile at that time and go, I knew this would come. I just didn't know which way and how and when. But you see, we get up. Because God loyal people don't stay down long. He didn't say they don't stay down. He said they can fall, but they won't stay down long. You can count on it that they will get up. Soon they're up on their feet. I'll stop here at verses 17 to 18. But if you think we should continue, say continue. Don't laugh when your enemy falls. Don't gloat over his collapse. God might see and become very provoked and then take pity on his plight. It's not your business when somebody else falls and say, finally, oh, they have finally fall down. Finally, oh, they have fall. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm seeing the continue. Thank you. Please keep the continues coming. We fall, but we rise up. When your neighbor falls, please don't laugh. Guess what? We don't know what transaction. Thank you. I'm seeing your continues. I'm seeing your C. We don't know what confessions they've had with the Lord. We don't know why and when they repented before the Lord. We have no idea what's going on in their secret place. The Lord is saying, don't gloat. So you know that enemy that has had a challenge recently that you were tempted to gloat? Please just move on. Verses 19 to 20. Don't bother your head with braggarts or wish you could succeed like the wicked. Those people have no future at all. They are headed down a dead-end street. I cannot emphasize this enough. We've heard this so many times from day one. Don't envy the wicked. Don't envy the braggarts. Don't envy those who look like they're getting ahead on the fast lane, even though you and I know they're cutting corners. Don't envy them. And you know why wisdom is repeating so much? Because the temptation is so high to think they are actually better. The temptation is so high to see that person you know is cutting corners and they seem to be getting ahead. And the temptation is so high to look at them and say, I better make her follow them. You know how you're driving and then there are these ill-mannered drivers who begin to drive on the wrong side of the traffic. We call it one way in Nigeria. Or they start driving on the fringes of the highway and it's obvious they're doing the wrong thing. But guess what? You can see how far ahead they've gone. And when the pain is so much, after a while, you say, well, me, I'm not a fool. And you swerve off and join them. I know it because I've been there so many times. I can't count the number of times I joined them or I even led it. I said, let me start it before somebody else will do it. And then this continues to hit me, that Joyce, don't envy them. Don't envy them. how they do one thing is how they do everything. They would learn to cut corners in so many other parts of life. And guess what? The quality of their living will never be as good as yours, because they won't trust anybody around them, because they will look at everybody around them as trying to get away with something, and they wouldn't have the benefit of enjoying loyal relations and relationships. One of the days the Holy Spirit was ministering to me, he said, people like that cannot eat in friends' houses, because before they eat, they go say, wait, I don't know what I put them inside this food, but you, Joyce, you can eat anywhere. Because he was showing me different things in the lives of people who cut corners and how they do not fully beneficiate the beauty of the life God has given them, because they cut corners so much, they're always looking over their shoulders. He said, Joyce, you cannot see some of these parts. Don't envy them. Don't envy them. They've cut so many corners, they don't sleep well at night. They are watching out for who has uncovered what, where. And so to you, they look okay, but they're always looking for who else they need to sort, who else they need to buy, who else they need to subdue. They're always on the edge. They are not well. You are not only supposed to enjoy yourself when you get to heaven, Joyce, you're supposed to enjoy yourself on earth. That peace that you have, many of them don't have. And they can't even have it. But don't worry about what you see on the outside. It's the fact that you see them driving certain kinds of cars and living in certain kinds of houses that you forget who you are. And he says, if that's the kind of car you want and that's the kind of house you want, get wisdom that would build the house, get knowledge that would fill the rooms. For those of you who have built houses, bought properties, you know what I'm talking about. Don't bother your head with them. Fear God, dear child. Respect your leaders. Don't be defiant or mutinous. Without warning, your life can turn upside down, and who knows how or when it might happen. Don't be defiant or mutinous. Mutinous is when you would say, oh, I'm going to start my own faction immediately. Mutiny, meaning an open rebellion against the proper authorities, especially by soldiers or sailors against their officers, refusing to obey orders with the person of authority, to the point where you now want to go start your own sect. Say, fear God, dear child. Respect your leaders. Don't be defiant or mutinous. I'm like, God, for real? Sometimes you seem like you have some contradictions with this God. And then, see, there's some things I will not finish saying here. Please stay with God. 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 Please. Don't be defiant. Make your stand clear without defiance. Make it clear. Clarify it in thoughts and in speech. Respect your leaders. He didn't say obey leaders that are asking you to do wrong. He said respect them. Respectfully decline to do the thing that you know is wrong to do without being defiant. It's I'm so sorry that I'm not able to do this. The Lord will grant us the wisdom to apply it per situation, per time, in the name of Jesus Christ. Daniel knew when to respectfully decline the instructions of the king. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew when not to bow. They were not mutinous. He just said, We bow to our God. Joseph knew when and how to profess solution to Pharaoh. Hagar, when she heard from the angel of the Lord, he said, "Go back to your master. I will take care of you and your child, even though you have been abused. They took from you your innocence. They gave you to an old man to have a child for him where he was not even going to marry you. He didn't pay bride price for you. He didn't give your family anything for you. He got you pregnant because that was the deal. You had the child, and then you're still expected to behave like a maid. I understand you're running away, but come back. Go back." Everywhere Abraham is mentioned, Hagar, I will mention your name. I will mention your son. I will also make him a prince. Ah, God will reward you. He will reward you. Mechanic, please help me write in the chat the phone number for the Joyce Daniels official number. Yes, that's 0906 something something 149 something something 155 or so. Please put it down in the chat a few times. If you would like to join the WhatsApp group, send a message to that number, please. It's wrong, very wrong, to go along with injustice. If you see and you know you are clear this is injustice, remove your hand. Whoever whitewashes the wicked gets a black mark in the history books. But whoever exposes the wicked will be thanked and rewarded. It takes a lot of guts to expose. Somebody might hear listening to this live or in the replay, you might be considering exposing something and you have been dilly-dallying with it. The knowledge you might need to seek now is the knowledge to unearth and expose that wicked the right way, through the right channels, so that it gets the results for which you are doing it. And of course, you might also be attacked for it. You might be blacklisted for it. But wisdom is saying, it's all right, don't worry, I got you. You all know bad past Hagar. Don't worry, I got you. An honest answer is like a warm hug. So give it. Give honest answers. Let's practice honest answers, especially when they are uncomfortable to say. Let's build up the practice of giving honest answers. First, plant your fields, then build your barn. A barn is a collection house, a storage house. Don't build a barn when your fields are not planted. What are you going to fill the barn with if you haven't sorted out how you are going to get a harvest? So sort out your business first. Sort out your structure first. Sort those ones out before you start talking about building, getting an office. Let your business start. Let it start creating, generating. Then think about the office. You're starting off a certain thing and say, no, let me rent an office first, get 1 or 2 staff, put in computers and internet, then we can start the business. That's reverse of verse 27 of chapter 24. First, plant your fields, then build your barn. First, have the conversation, then know if you want to marry or not. Don't say, I want to marry you, then you start having the conversations. No. Start the conversations first, then build your barn. Don't talk about your neighbors behind their backs. No slander or gossip, please. Don't say to anyone, I'll get you back, or I'll get back at you for what you did to me. I'll make you pay for what you did. So don't do that. God will take care of them. That thing you cannot say to the front of your neighbor avoid saying it behind them. And if you must talk about it in a way that you want to report them, then bring the third party to them and report in front. Hey, let me look for one name here now. Let's see. I don't like, you want to tell Leslie that you don't like what she has been doing, but you've not had the guts. So you want to go and report to Erica by way of gossip. And even by way of reporting. This one is saying, bring Erica to where Leslie is and say, Erica, I want to report Leslie to you. And I'm doing it in front of her so she will see. I knew I guessed, I was afraid that if I came to speak to her directly, she might attack me. So that's why I have brought you here. See what happened. Leslie, please just hold on. Let me finish explaining. Erica, see what happened. See what Leslie did. She did this, she did that, she did that, she did that. So please, I'm reporting it to you in front of her. Because if I had come to see you without her, it would look like gossip. And I don't want that to be the case. Please, I want you to help us solve this. So that tomorrow, when I'm not talking to Leslie, she will know why I'm not talking to her. Erica, over to you. Oh, my goodness. Michael, there are these apps that help people download videos from YouTube and co. Now, question, are those things legal? I don't know. Please, what's the it's legal if you're using it for personal consumption. Now, those apps will ask you if you want to download only the audio version or the audio and the video. So you can download the audio if you really want to do that. The mechanic will put you through because he's the one who has taught me how to use some of those apps. So I have gotten some of my videos from my Facebook group and I have put them on my YouTube and made them, unlisted, so that when certain people want the videos and are not on Facebook, they can get them. And it asked me if I would download the audio. And I said, oh, maybe some people might need the audio. So yeah. Don't worry. Next year, we'll also start podcasting. We'll start podcasting next year. I have just gotten a coach for podcasting, a very successful, okay, I think I mentioned it days ago, Tombra Wonswago. She's, in my opinion, a successful podcaster. And she's getting the kinds of results that I want, and I know her. So, and she also has created a course, a coaching kind of offering for people who want to podcast. Now, there's some very successful podcasters who do not teach other people how to podcast. So next year we are going to podcast as well, and because it's something I really believe I want to do. And so we'll have audio podcasts. So when we're doing Wiser next year, we'll probably do it with a platform where we're on StreamYard and we're also on that app, whatever it is, Buzzsprout or something, so that you can get the audio version as a podcast, the Wiser podcast. Don't talk about your neighbors behind their backs. We've seen this. We're almost done. One day I walked by the field of an old lazy bones and then past the vineyard of a slum. They were overgrown. Their vineyard and their fields were overgrown with weeds, thick with thistles, all the fences broken down. I took a long look and pondered what I saw. The fields preached me a sermon, and they were speaking to me, and I listened. A nap here, a nap there, a day off here, a day off there. Sit back, take it easy. Do you know what comes next? What comes next after relax? I beg, you can't kill yourself. Now you don't be, I beg, relax. Just this. You can look forward to a dirt poor life with poverty as your permanent house guest. You can look forward to a life that has weeds all over, vineyards that are overgrown with thick thistles because of a nap here, a nap there, a day off here, a day off there. I can't keep myself here. I can't keep myself there. Sit back, take it easy. It's not supposed to be this hard. No. I beg go. But the children of God have it easier. Children of God, there was only when they got to the Red Sea parted. It was easy for them to walk through. What's all this? You must do this. You must do that. You will get this one. You go for webinar. You will write. You will sell. You will show up. What's all that? Look, I'm a child of God. Children of God have it easy. Joseph will just be there laughing. The cloud of witnesses: Joseph, Daniel, David, Ruth, Mordecai, Hagar, Abraham, Sarah. They will be looking and laughing and say, who told them? Didn't they hear that I was serving in a wilderness somewhere for 40 years? Moses will be laughing like, are you serious? And when I went back to talk to Pharaoh, Pharaoh gave me a hard time. Should we tell her that she's joking? She doesn't know who she is. David will say, should I tell her that after I was crowned king, I was chased around for 13 solid years before I could sit on the throne as king? Paul will say, wait, come. Okay, those ones are Old Testament. Should we tell them that after I was converted from Saul to Paul, I was arrested again and again and again, put in prison again and again and again, beaten, flogged, shamed, thrown naked, transferred from prison to prison, being used as a jester, sent to go and speak before kings so that they could laugh at me and the message? Should I tell them? Jesus will be sitting and looking with Father and Holy Ghost and saying, this one has forgotten that I was hung on the cross. Wait. He don't forget. Say, now the same people where I give bread and fish, now them say crucify him. Wait. This person that is saying this life is not supposed to be wait. They say they know me. They say they know me. But they've forgotten that my word says, in this life there will be trials, and I'll be with you. They say they know me, but they've forgotten that there was a kind of teaching I gave to the crowds, and then I had to retreat and rest and prepare for the kind of information that I gave when I was meeting in the houses of the rich folk and I was dissecting certain kinds of knowledge. Now, this is Jesus speaking. There were hard truths I spoke in the homes of the high and mighty that I didn't say out in the field. I needed to rest. They've forgotten that I studied every book in the synagogue. By the time I was 12, I had been loaded with knowledge that filled up the years of my ministry. They don't understand that that tiny scripture that said he was always there talking with the rabbis, studying the scrolls, I had put in the work. They're saying that this world is, oh, wow. John the Baptist will be saying, they've forgotten that I did the hard work of living out in the wilderness and eating the wild honey and locusts because I was trying to keep myself in a certain state of mind so that I could have the guts and boldness to speak to the people who required my kind of speaking to. There's always a price to pay. There's always hard work. Always. It is never without hard work. Never. Some of us will now say, we don't really need hard work in this life. We need smart work. Clap for yourself. You need hard work, smart work, the right work. You will work. You will what? You will work. The network is telling us it's time to go. We will work. There's soft life. We'll talk about soft life on another day. We will succeed in 2024. Augustine, I can't see Nancy Dehe here. So please put in the chat the phone number for the official Joyce Daniels, so that okay, I've opened it here. 0906 +234 906 149. I knew there was a 149 and 1105. Okay, Joyce. That's the number for those who want to join the WhatsApp group. Please text that number and say interested in joining the Wiser WhatsApp group, or just message and say Wiser WhatsApp group. And the moment she's available within work hours, she would attend to you. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations for making it this far. Congratulations for taking yourself so seriously. Congratulations for putting in the work. Nancy, I see you. Please expect texts for some people. Congratulations in advance for your 2024 and the wins you will experience. Oh, the wins you will experience. Congratulations for the nights in 2024 where you'll be going through some level of pain and confusion, but there will be joy in your heart knowing that you were prepared for such a day. Congratulations for the falls that you may encounter in 2024, but for the first time in your life, when you fall, there would be joy because you know you are rising. It will not be like the falls of the past where you felt you had come to an end. It will be the fall of a victorious person who falls, but falls with dignity, falls with sophistication, falls with power and anointing, that the people around you who have seen you fall are wondering if, alas, you really did fall, because they are coming to commiserate with you, but you will be the one giving them solace because you are built. Your rooms have been furnished with knowledge. Your house has been built with wisdom. And when I say your house, I mean figurative and literal. Your home will be filled with wisdom, and your rooms filled with knowledge of what is right, knowledge of what is necessary, knowledge of what is productive. Even when you're building your house, your physical house, you'll be building it with the knowledge of what to do when your nest becomes empty. So you have 6 or 4 young children. So you're building a house that is 5 bedroom because that's what you require, 6 bedroom. But as you're building it now, you're building it with a plan in mind that in another 18 years, these children will not be here. And so all we need to do is build this wall here. And then we would have 2 apartments and we'll rent the other. You will build with the long term in mind. You will see that your decisions, our decisions, will be better than ever before, in the name of Jesus Christ. Have a blessed day, blessed Sunday. I love you. Merry Christmas in advance. See you tomorrow. We'll have a special outing tomorrow. Oh, we'll have a special outing. Oh, we'll have a special outing. Merry Christmas tomorrow. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye for now.